Well, welcome back to all the first year students. My name is A. Srinivas. I'm an assistant professor of English working at Government Degree College Sciences, Hyderabad. For the last few days, we have been studying the story An Astrologer's Day written by R.K. Narayan. So today we will continue with the story. Yeah, before we begin today's class, we will do a bit of revision. Then we will continue with the story. So, what happened in the last few classes? Can you remember the story, students? Well, one day, if you remember correctly, one day the astrologer starts to pack up at the end of the day, and before he leaves, a stranger approached him and challenges him to provide satisfactory and appropriate answers for his questions. And the astrologer then enters into a bargaining or negotiation for a higher price. And finally, they enter into a pact that the astrologer has to provide correct answers and satisfactory answers for his question, and otherwise he will have to give double the amount of the uh, double the amount of the money that he has given to astrologer. And this offends the astrologer. First he refuses. When he sees the face of the when he gets a glimpse of the face of the stranger, the astrologer goes back on his pact, on his agreement, and he doesn't want to continue with his fortune telling. But the stranger is very adamant and ruthless. He wants he wants correct answers from the astrologer, otherwise he will consider him as a deceitful man. So then the astrologer asks the man if he has ever been left for dead by a knife. So he must have been left for dead by a knife, by stabbing by somebody. So there we stopped in the last class. Now let us continue with the story. First I will read the story, listen to the story with concentration and attention. Then we will try to comprehend the story with the help of some vocabulary, understanding the meanings of the words and some questions. Yeah, let me read the story for you. Ah, tell me more. A knife has passed through you once, said the astrologer. Good fellow, good fellow, he bared his chest to show the scar. What else? And then you are pushed into a well nearby in the field. You are left for dead. I should have been dead if some passerby had not chanced to peep into the well, exclaimed the other, overwhelmed by enthusiasm. When shall I get at him? He asked, clenching his fist. So, when the astrologer reveals that the stranger had been knifed and stabbed by a person and he was left for dead in a well. So, when this fact is revealed to the stranger becomes very enthusiastic and he feels very, uh, I mean, angry, and he shows his chest, and he shows a scar on the chest. So first, before we comprehend, we will take some vocabulary items. After continuing with the story in the next slide, so we'll continue with the story. So he shows a scar, that is a mark caused by a wound. So then the man reveals that he was pushed into a well nearby in the field, and there he was left for dead. That is what the astrologer reveals. So the stranger says that I should have been dead if some passerby had not chanced to peep into the well. That is, I would have been dead, and he was very lucky that some passerby, luckily he was going along that way, and he peeped into the well where he was lying dead, and he was saved. He was saved from that incident, from that stabbing. So after saying this, the stranger says that when shall I get at him? That is, he wants to seek vengeance. He wants to take revenge on the person who stabbed him, who knifed him. So he clenches his fist. He raises his hand, clenches his fist, and he says that when shall I get at him? When shall I catch that particular person who stabbed me? I want to seek vengeance for my stabbing. That is what he says. Yeah, let us continue with the text. In the next world, answered the astrologer, he died 4 months ago in a far off town. You will never see any more of him. The other groaned on hearing it. The astrologer proceeded, Guru Nayak, you know my name. The other said, taken aback. As I know all other things, Guru Nayak, listen carefully to what I have to say. Your village is 2 days' journey due north of this town. Take the next train and be gone. I see once again great danger to your life if you go from home. He took out a pinch of sacred ash and held it out to him. Rub it on your forehead and go home. Never travel southward again, and you will live to be 100. So here in this slide, you can see when the stranger asks that he wants to seek vengeance on with regard to that particular person who stabbed him, the astrologer says that that particular person who stabbed and knifed the stranger died 4 months ago in a far off town. So he is no more now, and you will never see any more of him. That is what the astrologer says. And he also calls the stranger by his name, that is Guru Nayak. And the stranger says that you know my name. He is amazed and he is surprised to hear that the astrologer calls him by his name. And then the astrologer says that, yeah, I know many things. I know your name and I know many things. So your village is 2 days journey due north of this. Then he cautions the stranger that your village is north of this town. So first you take the next train and you go back to your home, to your village, because the astrologer says that he can see great danger to the stranger's life once again. If he is not gone, he is in danger in this city. So then he further says that you just travel back to your town, travel back to your village, then you will be in safe situation. You will live into your old age. You will live a very long life if you go back to your village and settle there. You should never come back to this city again, otherwise you will be in danger. That is what the astrologer cautions that is how the astrologer cautions the stranger. So just now let us try to understand it further a bit deeper. The word that you come across in this passage is in the first slide you see scar, which is a noun. Scar is a mark on the skin due to wounded burn. So here what happens is, when the astrologer gives the fact that he says that the stranger was knifed and stabbed, the stranger reveals his scar, that is his mark on the skin, which was caused due to the knifing and stabbing by a particular person. So he bares his chest and he shows his mark. And then another word that you come across in the passage is peep. Peep. So here in this passage here you can see a knife has passed through you once. Then the stranger says that the stranger bares his chest to show the scar. So he shows the scar to the astrologer. Then another word that you come across in the passage is peep. Peep is a verb. It means to look quickly and furtively through a narrow opening. Peeping and peering are similar. Peer also means safe. So if you look quickly and furtively in a secret way through a narrow opening, then you call it peeping. So here the word peep is used here towards the last fourth line from the bottom in the slide. There you can see, I should have been dead if some passerby had not chanced to peep into the well. That is, the stranger was saved when a passerby luckily peeped into the well. That is, he saw in a furtive way, is as if somebody might be there. He thought the the passerby thought that somebody might be there in the well. So when he peeped into the well, when he looked into the well in a furtive way, then he was saved. That way he was saved. Yeah, another word that you find in the passage is groaned. Groaned is a verb here, and it means make a painful and despairing sound. Painful and despairing sound. So we'll see where this particular word is used. Yeah, here in this passage you can see in the first few lines you will find that word. In the next world answered the astrologer. In the next world answered the astrologer. So here you can see groaned. Yeah, he died 4 months ago in a far off town. You will never see any more of him. The other groaned on hearing it. So what is the meaning of groaned? What is the meaning of groan? Make a painful and despairing sound. That is, the stranger makes a painful and despairing sound. That is, he is not happy that the person is no more. The person is died. The person on whom he wants to take revenge, or from whom he seeks vengeance, that person is said to have died 4 months ago by the astrologer. So then he makes a despairing and painful sound. He is not happy with the death of his that person who stabbed him. So that's why he makes a painful and despairing sound. That is, he groans on hearing about the person who has stabbed him. So let us take two questions about these two slides. Just try to think about the answers for these questions and try to find out the answers from the text so that we can understand it better. What happened according to the astrologer to the man who stabbed the stranger? Can you think of an answer for this? What happened to the man who stabbed the stranger? So the astrologer says that the man who knifed the stranger long time ago, he is no more. That is, he died. He is not living anymore. He died 4 months ago in a far off town. That is what the astrologer says. And you can't see him. You will never see any more of him. And the reaction of the stranger is that he is painful and despairing, because the person on whom he wants to seek revenge is no more and he is died already. Yeah, let us take another question. What advice did the astrologer give to the stranger? What advice did the astrologer give to the stranger? Just think about the passages we have gone through just now. So the astrologer gives a piece of advice to the stranger, and the astrologer says that you go back to your town. You go back to your town. In this last paragraph you can see, you go back to your town and never come back to this city, because I can see, I can sense a great danger to your life if you do not go back from here. Once again, you are in danger. So just catch the next train without any delay. Just catch the next train and go back to your village and settle there. Never come back to this city, otherwise you will be in danger. Never travel southward again, and then if you do what I say, you will live a long life. That is what the astrologer says, and that is how the astrologer gives a piece of advice to the stranger. And let us continue. Why should I leave home? Yeah, I am again reading the text. Listen to this text with attention. Yeah. Why should I leave home again? The other said reflectively. Why should I leave home again? The other said reflectively. I was only going away now and then to look for him and to choke out his life if I met him. He shook his head regretfully. He has escaped my hands. I hope at least he died as he deserved. Yes, said the astrologer, he was crushed under a lorry. The other looked gratified to hear it. Yeah, let us continue with the text again. The place was deserted by the time the astrologer picked up his articles and put them into his bag. The green shaft was also gone, leaving the place in darkness and silence. The stranger had gone off into the night after giving the astrologer a handful of coins. It was nearly midnight when the astrologer reached home. His wife was waiting for him at the door and demanded an explanation. He flung the coins at her and said, "Count them. One man gave all that. One man gave all that." So, in these two slides, what we'll do is first we'll take some words, new words, and try to understand the meanings. So, once you understand the meanings of the difficult words or new words, what happens is you can easily understand the passage or the text. So, the first word that you come across in this slide, in these two slides, is a new word or a difficult word for you, reflectively. Reflectively is an adverb which is used along with another verb. It means that in a way that shows serious and careful consideration. In a way, if you do something in a way that shows serious and careful consideration, it means that you are doing it reflectively. So, where do you find this particular here it is, let me underline that. Reflectively is used, and it is used along with a verb generally. Why should I leave home again? The other said reflectively. That is, the astrologer says, why should he leave home again? Because I want to take revenge. I want to take revenge. I am going to find out that person. And should I really leave back? Should I really go back to my home again? So he is asking this question in a reflective way. Reflectively means with a lot of seriousness and consideration, lot of thought and consideration if you do. So here the stranger says it very reflectively, that is with a lot of consideration and thinking. Then you can say that it is called reflectively, serious and careful consideration. Seriously says with careful consideration. Why should he go back again? Because he wants to take revenge, and he is not yet decided whether to go back or not. Yeah, another word that you come across, which you may find a bit difficult, is choke out. Which it means that it is actually a verb, a phrasal verb. It is used along with out, choke out. So it means that to block breathing, to block somebody's breathing by obstructing trachea. Trachea is the place where you find your I mean, it's like your throat, if you hold somebody's throat tightly, then what you are doing is you are choking out that person. Choking out is you are blocking the air that he is taking in. So you are blocking the person's breathing by obstructing the area where air goes in, from where the air goes in. Yeah. So choking out, here, where you find choking, can you just see? Yeah, here you can see, yeah, here it is, here, choke out. So this particular word is used by the stranger. The stranger says that, why should I leave home again? I was only going away now. Now I am going away, and then I want to look for him. I want to search for him and to choke out his life if I met him. Suppose if I meet him, I would like to choke out his life. That is, I would like to hold his throat and obstruct his breathing, and that way I want to kill him. I want to kill that person who stabbed me long ago. So, you can understand the meaning. Yeah, another word that you find is gratified. Gratified is an adjective. It means that to have pleasure or satisfaction. That is, if you feel pleasure, if you are pleasurable and is satisfied, then you can say you are gratified. So where do you find that particular passage? Gratified. So here in this slide, towards the last one, gratified is used. So here the other looked gratified to hear it. That is, the stranger looked satisfactory and happy and pleasure. He has got pleasure to hear the news, to hear the fact. What is that piece of information about which he becomes gratified, about which he feels pleasure? That is, the person who stabbed the stranger was crushed under a lorry. He was crushed under a lorry, and he was crushed under a lorry. So he is very happy. The stranger is very happy. He has pleasure. He has satisfaction that the person who knifed him long ago was crushed and killed under killed by a lorry in an accident. So he is very happy. He is very happy. Yeah, another word that you come across in the previous slide is deserted. It means, it is actually a verb, and desolate, it means desolate or sparsely occupied or unoccupied. Sparsely occupied or totally unoccupied. Desolate, or that is given up by people, nobody is there, no person is there, then you call it deserted. So here in the first line itself, you can see deserted is used. Deserted. So the place was deserted. The place was deserted by the time the astrologer picked up his articles and put them into his bag. So in the previous slide we have seen, how the stranger leaves the place. How the stranger leaves the place. No, is just before the stranger has left the place. The place was deserted by the time the astrologer picked up his articles and put them into his bag. That is, the astrologer has given his verdict. He has given his answers, and the stranger feels very happy to hear the answer, satisfactory answer given by the astrologer. And at that point of time, because it is too late and his work is over, the astrologer is getting ready to pick up his articles and put them into his bag. He picked them up and he put them into his bag, and the last ray of light is also gone, and it is totally dark and silent. Then the stranger had gone off into the night. That is, the stranger is also, after, feeling very happy at what this astrologer told about the person who stabbed him. He feels very happy and he leaves the place. And before he leaves the place, uh, before he leaves the astrologer, the stranger gives a handful of coins to the astrologer. So there you can see the place was deserted. That is, the place became desolate or sparsely occupied. That is, not many people are there. Almost all the people left the place. It is become empty and vacant almost. Right. So we'll take two questions about these two slides and try to understand it better. The first question is, how did the stranger want to take revenge? How did the stranger want to take revenge? That is, the stranger wanted to take revenge, that is, seek vengeance on the person, against the person who stabbed him. So how did the stranger want to take revenge? In this passage, you can see, in this slide you can see, the stranger wanted to seek vengeance by killing the person who stabbed him. He wanted to use the actual word, he wanted to choke out his life. He wanted to choke out his life. Choke out means, already we have learnt, to block breathing by obstructing the trachea, by obstructing the breathing, the airways. If you block the airways, the breathing, then it is called choking. So he wanted to choke out, he wanted to kill that person who stabbed him long back. But the stranger feels that he has escaped my hands, as the astrologer already told the fact that he was crushed and killed in an accident by a lorry. He feels very happy and he feels regretful also. He feels as if he has missed a great chance. So he says that, the stranger says that he has escaped his hands, and he also feels that he died as he deserved. He deserved a very tragic death, and the tragic death was given to him by the god. So he feels very happy. He feels very happy about what happened. Now, so let us take another question. Yeah, the second question about this slide is, how did the astrologer feel when he heard about the man who stabbed him? No, not actually, it's not astrologer. It's not astrologer. It should be the stranger. It should be the stranger. How did the stranger feel? How did the stranger feel when he heard about the man who stabbed him? That should be the question. Yeah. So here you can see the feeling from with the help of some cues. If you look at, if you read the passage carefully and identify some words which indicate the feeling of the stranger about the person who stabbed him. So he is very angry with the person who stabbed him. The stranger is very angry with the person who stabbed him, and he wants to seek vengeance. Uh, on that particular person. And when he hears that he died in a road accident, he died in an accident, he met a tragical death, he feels very gratified. He feels very happy and satisfactory. Actually, he also feels regretful that he missed a great chance. He missed a chance of seeking vengeance on that person. He wanted to take revenge by himself, but that was not to be the case as revealed by the astrologer. So finally he feels though initially he feels regretful. And he gives a despairing sound also, very painful and despairing sound when he heard that he is no more. So initially he feels very regretful and despairing, but later towards the end, when he hears that he met a very tragic death in an accident, he feels very happy and satisfactory. Right. With these questions we have tried to answer, comprehend the passage. Now let us continue the story further. So here you can see, here towards the last passage, you can see that the astrologer, when he packed his bag, it was almost midnight. The place became desolate, and it was nearly midnight when the astrologer reached his home. His wife was waiting for him, and she was not happy. As the astrologer became very late, he went home very late, and his wife was not happy with that. And he flung the coins at her and said, "Count them. One man gave all that." So we'll continue from that particular point. Yeah. 12.5 annas, she said, counting. She was overjoyed. "I can buy some jaggery and coconut tomorrow. The child has been asking for sweets for so many days now. I will prepare some nice stuff for her. The swine has cheated me. He promised me a rupee," said the astrologer. She looked up at him. "You look worried. What is wrong?" "Nothing." And let us continue. After dinner, sitting on the pile, he told her, "Do you know, a great load is gone from me today. I thought I had the blood of a man on my hands all these years. That was the reason why I ran away from home, settled here, and married you. He is alive." She gasped. "You tried to kill?" "Yes, in our village when I was a silly youngster. We drank, gambled, and quarreled badly one day. Why think of it now? Time to sleep," he said, yawning, and stretched himself on the pile. So here in these two slides, first let us try to understand the meanings of some new words. The first one is jaggery, which is a noun. It means unrefined brown sugar. Another word that you come across in the passage which is new is pile, which is a noun, and it means low bench. A bench that is low in height is called pile. Another word that you may come across in the passage which is new is load, something that weighs down the mind or spirits. A load is something that weighs down the mind or spirits. Another word that you come across in the passage is swine. It's a noun. Swine is actually a pig, but here it means that a contemptible person. So one by one we will try to identify where this particular word is used. Jaggery is unrefined brown sugar, and here it is used in this passage. I will underline, jaggery, numbered 15. Jaggery is unrefined brown sugar. So this word is used by the astrologer's wife. She says that when she counts and sees the money, that is 12.5 annas, was given by the astrologer to her, and she was very happy. She feels very happy, and she says that she could buy some jaggery and coconut tomorrow, because for her child she wants to buy jaggery and coconut with the money. Another word that you come across is in the passage, pile is used. It is given with the number 16. So pile is a low bench. low bench, like we have seen just now. So here this particular word is used in the first sentence. After dinner, sitting on the pile is a low bench. So the astrologer sits on the pile. He sat on the pile and he talks to her wife about the incidents that have taken place on that particular day. So he says that a great load is gone from him that day. So another word, load, which is noun, and it means something that weighs down the mind or spirits, something that weighs down the mind or spirits. So here this particular word is used by the astrologer. He says that a lot of load, great amount of load is gone from him that day. And load here means that something that weighs down. See, for the last many years, a number of years, his mind and his spirits, his soul was or has been weighed down. He felt a lot of weight on his mind and spirits. He felt as if he has committed a sin, or he felt he has been feeling, or he has felt that he has committed a crime or a sin. So that particular feeling is mentioned or given as load. With the word load, it is indicated the feeling of guilt and feeling of guilt of committing a crime or sin. So for the last number of years, he feels that he committed a sin or crime, and today that feeling is gone, that heavy feeling is gone. So he says that I had the blood of a man in my hands. Thought that I I thought that I killed a person with my hands. All these years he's got this kind of burden on him, or he has been leading his life with the feeling that he has committed a crime, he has killed a person. So today he realized that he has not killed any person. And another reason for his coming to this particular town and settling here and marrying her is the same reason, that is, he felt that he has committed a crime and he has killed a particular person, and that's why he leaves his village without telling anybody. So all these years he's got this feeling that he has killed a particular person. So that's why he comes to this particular town, which is very far away from his village, and he settles here and marries this particular woman. So today he has realized that he has not killed anybody and he is alive. He is luckily, by God's grace, he is alive, and he has seen that particular person, and he is none other than Guru Nayak, Guru Nayak, and this Guru Nayak is the stranger. So far, this particular stranger was talking to or challenging the astrologer. So he has realized, he has seen that man, he is not dead, he is alive, and he feels very relieved at this particular fact. So you can see here, this load means something that weighs down the mind or spirits, a feeling of guilt. Another word that is used in the passage is swine, which is noun, a pig. It means it is actually a pig, but here it is used as a contemptible person. So here the wife asks that, here the word swine is used here in this slide. The swine has cheated me. He promised a rupee, said the astrologer. She looked up at him. You look worried, what is wrong? So this particular word is used by the astrologer with regard to the stranger. He says that the stranger is a contemptible person and he has cheated him, because he promised to give a rupee, 100 pies, but he did not give the 100 pies and he gave only 12 and a half annas. So the stranger is also very clever as far as bargaining and negotiation is concerned. So the stranger cleverly throws 12.5 annas at the astrologer and he leaves the place with satisfaction. So this swear word is used by the astrologer with regard to the stranger. Yeah, now hope you have understood something from this particular slide. Let us take one or two questions. The question regarding this particular slide is, why did the astrologer feel that a great load is gone from him? Just now I talked about that. The astrologer feels that a great load of burden, a burden is gone, a feeling of guilt is gone from his mind, from his life, because he, for all these years, he thought that he killed a person, he murdered a person or he killed a person, and he feels very guilty about that. That's why he left his village without telling anybody, and he settled in this town and married this woman. So for all these years he felt the guilty feeling. He has been living with this guilty feeling that he has killed a person. Today that feeling is gone because that person whom he thought that he killed that person, he is alive today, he is not dead. So he feels very relieved. Yeah, so hope you have understood the story, and that is the end of the story. Finally, the astrologer gets relieved from his feeling of guilt and burden, and he realizes that he did not kill anybody on that particular day when they entered into fight with a particular person, and he was saved by a passerby. And now the same person, that is Guru Nayak, comes to him to seek vengeance, and uh, he cleverly uh, sends the stranger back to his village with his words. So let me summarize the story before we stop the class. So the story begins today with the astrologer's prediction, which becomes true, which turns out to be true, and the stranger reveals a scar on his chest by a knife. The stranger is very happy. The stranger feels very amazed and surprised. Yes, whatever astrologer says is correct, and because there is a scar on his chest, and the astrologer then calls him by his name, Guru Nayak, and he says that the man he seeks vengeance against died 4 months ago. That is, the man about whom he is searching to seek vengeance is no more. He died in an accident. He met a tragic death 4 months ago in a far off town. And Nayak is amazed. There's no way the astrologer could have known his name. Nayak starts believing whatever astrologer says, because he feels very surprised when he hears that the astrologer calls him by his name. So the astrologer replies that he knows many things because he is an astrologer. He can predict the future. He is a fortune teller. He knows a lot of things, and a name is nothing. He can easily tell the name of any person. And the astrologer warns Nayak to never journey south of this village. That is, you go back to your village. Never come back to this particular town, and then you can live a happy life, a long life. And if he does so, that is, if he goes against what the astrologer says, he will surely be killed because he is again in danger. So he wants him to go back to his village, and Nayak says that is the stranger. Nayak says that he only journeyed south to murder this individual, and fortunately the astrologer says that he was crushed under a bus. It was in fact a terrifying death. So Nayak is pleased by this news. Nayak feels very happy that he was given a tragic death by the god. The astrologer goes home with a large bag of coins towards the end of the story, and his wife feels thrilled by the good fortune. And after a nice dinner, the astrologer confesses to his wife, that is, he, uh, I mean, he speaks to his wife. He gives the truth. He speaks the truth to his wife. That, and what is the truth? Long ago, when he was a teenager, he was the one who pushed Nayak down the well and left him to die. And the two had been gambling and drinking, because in his young age, astrologer was not into good ways. He gambled and he drank. He used to drink, and both Guru Nayak and astrologer got into a huge fight on a particular day. And in a fit of rage, the astrologer stuck a knife into Nayak. He stabbed Nayak and threw him down a well in a fit of anger and rage. But now he knows that Nayak did not die on that particular day. He was saved by a passerby, and he feels very happy that he has not killed any person. All these years he felt that he was living a burden, a life of burden. He was leading a life with a lot of guilt. So now he feels that he can sleep with a light heart now. So finally, an assignment for you. Hope you have understood and enjoyed the story by R.K. Narayan, An Astrologer's Day. And before I close the class, let me give you a simple assignment. The first question is, what details does the astrologer give the stranger about his past? And another question is, why does he advise the stranger to go home immediately? Very simple questions about today's class. And if possible, this is another assignment. If you are interested, you can do this assignment also. Here I gave you two simple questions. How would you characterize the astrologer's attitude toward the stranger after their encounter? Here I am talking about the attitude of the astrologer. And in the question B, what attitude did the astrologer seem to have about the incident from his past? So both the questions is about attitude. Try to write something about these questions. Hope you have enjoyed today's class. See you in the next class. Keep learning, keep enjoying. See you. Have a nice day.